looking to see if you have any fans watching you on the video. You do. You have some numbers on there. All right, 25 minutes before 10 o'clock, Bob Kennedy from Berkshire Hathaway Hometeam Realty is here. I always love these visits because I'm going to get a house one day. I have a mobile home right now. It's nice, but one of these days, you know what it is? I thought it would be cool to just live in a little mobile home. But after a while, you start realizing this isn't big. This is like a shoebox.
Yeah.
So
everybody, your tastes change as time goes on.
that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Good to see everybody.
Same here.
Yeah, my big fear with the mobile home was when you hear these tornado warnings, and I always think, I got to get a house. Now, I know a tornado can tear up a house too, but you're a little safer in a house.
It seems that mobile homes get more than their share of damage during natural disasters.
Yeah, it does. So how are you? Beautiful day, right?
Beautiful day. Beautiful day. Beautiful day in the real estate business.
You gave me an article about home inspections, and is that something we do when we're buying, selling, or even doing neither?
It's something that I would highly recommend every home buyer to do.
So it's your expense. You have it inspected before you buy it.
Yes. The standard in our market is once you have a contract on a home, the buyer then has a certain period of time to do a home inspection. And the home inspections can run probably about $300 to $500 depending upon the size of the house. But it is probably the absolute best insurance anybody can get for anything.
Okay, so when you get the process started, but before you sign the dotted line, that's when you get the inspector?
No, the inspection is done once the contract is signed. Then.
Oh, wow. So how do you back out of it then? If the inspector finds something bad?
Well, that's a fantastic question because in Florida we use two basic contracts. We use an as-is, where we use a standard contract for buying and selling. And both contracts state the parameters of the inspection process. So an as-is contract basically is saying the seller doesn't want to do any repair work or they don't want to make any investment into the house. So if it comes back on the inspection and there's a lot of problems, the buyer has the right to walk away, no questions asked. In a standard contract, there's certain dollar amounts set aside that if there's repairs that need to be done, the seller will take care of that.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, so that's in the contract. So what happens? The guy who is the inspector
Yes.
just has free reign? If there's still a family living there, he walks through the house?
Well, if the house is occupied, sure. Yeah, I mean they're not. Hopefully he doesn't do it during dinner.
Yeah. Nani can join in.
I'm picturing a guy with a clipboard, looking under the things.
Oh, absolutely. Except instead of a clipboard, now it's a tablet or a laptop.
Yeah.
But they will go through and they will check virtually everything in the house, from electric to roof.
Can they check things deep in under the foundation, like maybe for termites or cracks in the plumbing and
absolutely,
things like that?
yes. They can't do anything like people ask about. What about sinkholes? And a home inspector, that's beyond their scope. If a home inspector sees something that is out of whack, if they see a bunch of cracks that are not normal,
those are red flags, right?
And they'll put on the report, or they should put on the report. In my opinion, you need a certified contractor to check this out, kind of a thing.
Okay.
Yes, but that's exactly what they're giving their opinion of the condition of the house.
So, what do you advise a seller to do? Because let's say a seller doesn't even know maybe some of the problems with this house. I'm guessing that would be me. I'd be the guy who's I didn't know that was there. So if you say to me, which contract do you want to use, the as is or the other one? I said, no, do the other one because I want to be a good guy. I want to do the right thing. Mm-hmm. Now all of a sudden I'm selling the house and I've got a $10,000 bill I've got to pay.
Well, if you think that there's repairs that have to be done, like if you were selling a house and you said, look, I got a bunch of stuff here that we're going to have to deal with, one option is to have a home inspection done before you put it on the market, so you kind of know the stuff that you're dealing with.
Okay, so that's from the seller's part.
That's from a seller standpoint. Now, there's also, you have, as a homeowner, as a home seller, you have to disclose any defects that you're aware of. So if you have a leaky roof, but it's not showing up in the ceiling, but you know there's a leak, by law, you have to disclose that, and that's in the contract. So but a lot of times people, like you just said, you're unaware. And that's where the home inspection comes in. Because as a buyer, and in today's new guidelines, these are federal laws, a buyer is no longer a buyer. A buyer is now the consumer.
Oh.
Okay.
So everything is always about protecting the consumer. And that's just another reason to have a home inspection done.
So when an appraiser comes and looks at a house, does that person serve in some way as an inspector?
No. The appraiser is determining the value of the contract.
But if you got $10,000 worth of damage, this should change the value.
Well, they will make a notation if there's something that would cause. See, let's. Sounds technical, but
Yeah.
I
It's
guess
an interesting
I guess
topic
it is.
because it's confusing to me.
So the appraisal has a bigger impact when you're doing a government loan, like an FHA, USDA, VA, because there are certain requirements that the government has to have in order to make that loan. The roof has to be in good shape. It has to have all its appliances.
okay.
The flooring has to be finished, those types of things. But an appraiser in and of itself, he will give value or take value away based on the comparables that he's using against that house. But he's not going to say, hey, you need new windows. That's not his job.
Okay.
Oh.
Shouldn't
Okay.
be his job.
Okay. So the appraiser, do you pay for the appraiser? Is that something you pay for also?
The consumer, the buyer pays for the appraisal through the bank that they're using to
okay.
finance the house.
And now when you close, you have things such as dock stamps. I don't really know what that word stands for.
It stands for a tax.
Oh.
It's a tax.
Okay, and who gets the tax money?
Who always gets our tax money? Our government.
The word doc stands for documentary, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you just.
I never knew that.
But
it's
but you have to
different.
put stamps on it to prove that it was documented. What is what?
It all goes with the filing against the deed and the chain and the transfer of ownership. So the seller pays doc stamps on the deed, and the buyer will pay doc stamps on the mortgage and and on the note.
Is it different every
okay.
state? Does every state have docs?
I don't think every state has doc stamps, but
Okay.
that's
It's
that's
here.
Florida's way to.
That's a Florida thing.
That's a Florida thing. Every state's going to have something similar. Everybody's going to get their money.
So you as a realtor, do you ever have an inspector look at a property before you agree to represent it?
No, but we understand. That's where a lot of agents will use a seller's disclosure, where the seller answers a couple pages worth of questions as to the condition of the home, and that's what we go with. But again, 99.9% of the people are honest, and if there's something that's wrong,
That's good
it's
news,
something
yeah,
that they don't
yeah,
know
yeah.
about.
Yeah, yeah. But-
There's not most people selling their own house. They're not really going to be crooks about it, but people make mistakes and people overlook things. That's why I say the home inspection is such a great insurance policy.
I'm not bringing up Donald Trump's name because he's running for president right now, but what I'm going to tell you is something that was in his first book called The Art of the Deal that I've always carried with me. Now, that book came out early 80s, maybe?
Yeah, I would think
Mid-80s.
so.
Okay.
25
Mid to late.
years
And one of the
ago.
things he said in there was that if you have a dirty car and you clean it up, you can get more money for it just by cleaning it up. And he said the same thing is with properties. He's like a house or an apartment building, maybe in his case. He said if it looks bad and you want to sell it, don't sell it. Fix it up first and make it look nice, and then people will buy it. And so I had that thought in my mind when we were selling my mom's house, because my mom passed away, and we went there and we cleaned out everything, and then we cleaned it up.
Yeah.
Once we had all the stuff out of it, we went there and made sure that the stove, everything was. My mother was very good about that stuff anyway, but just made sure,
Sure.
before we ever got the real estate lady to come in and kind of do a walkthrough?
It's, yeah, everything's right that you said. I mean, you're going to, if something looks good, it's going to be more appealing. You know, we always talk about curb appeal. First impressions are always important. And in today's market, people, you know, because people don't, you have to put money down now, right? So a lot of people don't have the extra money to do a bunch of repairs once they go in. So they want the house in pretty much move-in condition.
I want to ask you about this on the other side of the break, because when we talk about, what do you call them again? Inspectors.
Yes.
They look for the cracks. They look for the place that might have termites. They look for the real. But you might be able to work with me and say, you know, Larry, if you were to paint this wall, or Larry, you know, if you were to put up a handrail by the stairs, you might give me some ideas just to help it sell better or sell quicker, or maybe even get more money for it.
Correct.
Okay, so we'll talk about that on the other side. You're listening to Bob Kennedy, Berkshire Hathaway Hometeam Realty. If you have a question for Bob, please call in. The number is 622-9622. We'll take a break and we'll be right back.
At Ameris Bank, we understand that there is no purchase more exciting than the purchase of a new home. We are dedicated to helping you find the mortgage that meets your needs and giving you the personal attention you deserve. Our mortgage options offer a variety of benefits, including up to 100% financing, down payment assistance, and expansive credit qualifications, all with the competitive rates and exceptional service. Call Ameris Bank today or visit amerisbank.com to learn more. We look forward to serving you.
Ameris Bank is an equal housing lender and member of FDIC, a loan subject to credit approval.
Central Florida Eye Institute is the area's leader in laser vision correction. From high-definition refraction surgery and LASIK vision correction to custom cataract, glaucoma, and diabetic treatment, you can count on Dr. Crowley and his effective, friendly staff to provide you with the quality care you deserve. Call 352-237-8400 for an appointment or more information. That number again is 352-237-8400. Looking forward to service your vision needs.
The very best in quality is Captain T's Upholstery.
Hey, this is Dan. Let me ask you a few questions. Does your boat look better with the cover on? Has your car's interior seen its better days? Stop using a towel to cover up those rips in the golf cart. Isn't it about time you had it restored to better than new with a custom upholstery from Captain T? Captain T's Upholstery has been right here in Ocala for nearly 20 years, so they know how to make your ride one of a kind. Whether you want to take that classic ride back to a factory look or put your favorite sports team front and center, Captain T's Upholstery is who to call. 352-369-1810. That's 352-369-1810. Or stop by their location, 5030 South Pine Avenue in Ocala, just past the drive-in. And of course, don't forget to visit them on the web, CaptainTUpholstery.com.
The very best in quality is Captain T's Upholstery.
Have you heard of Hyperdirectory? When looking for local businesses, go to hyper.directory. No need for www, no need for .com, just hyper.directory. Connecting customers to local companies when it matters most. Hyperdirectory is your local business directory partnered with the Ocala Chamber and Economic Partnership to bring you trusted local businesses. Keeping Ocala local. Use hyper.directory. No www, not even .com, just hyper.directory. Connecting customers to businesses when it matters most.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Because music stirs up strong emotions, it makes it easier for our brain to store information about that event. Showering less will definitely help most people's complexions because hot showers melt away the oils that seal in moisture and keep skin supple. Dogs are man's best friend, right? But new research from Nature's Scientific Reports now shows that dogs also do nice things for other dogs.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
All right, 11 minutes before 10 o'clock. Bob Kennedy is here from Berkshire Hathaway Hometeam Realty. We're talking about things that you need to know if you're buying or selling a home. And I guess we're focusing on inspections. And so the inspector does the heavy-duty stuff.
Correct.
But the lighter stuff, like the paintings and maybe even pictures on the wall or wallpaper, things like that, those would be things we would need to talk about too, right?
You want to talk about that. I mean, that's not an inspection issue, but you would talk about that as you're getting ready to put the house on the market. If you have something that's, you may have a wall that is painted some kind of freaky color that you love, but nobody else is going to love, well, you may want to think about maybe lightening that up a little bit, maybe neutralizing it some, because ultimately, you want to appeal to the most buyers, right? To get the best price.
At least one.
You got to find the one.
You want at least one, yeah.
But it's not going to be one that loves your very specific color sometimes.
Does the negotiating between the buyer and the seller go through you? Or do they go directly with each other?
No, that's. If there's no agent involved, it would.
Right.
But yeah, the agent is the one that handles that, and usually it's better because it keeps the emotion out of it. And if you there's certain things that you got to follow, and the agents know that better than the consumer.
If you put your headset on, and we found out the phone's lit up all of a sudden. Good morning. You're on the air with Bob.
Good morning, Bob.
Good morning.
When I bought my house in Ocala 30 years ago, I was given an abstract of title. I think that's the only document I have that shows my ownership of this house. Is that sufficient? Thank you.
You'll have the title, but there's also going to be a deed recorded at the county courthouse. That's every piece of property has to be recorded. So you got the abstract of title that shows that everything was clean. There were no liens or judgments against you. But there'll also be something filed at the courthouse.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. I didn't know if you had a follow-up. We have another phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Bob Kennedy.
Yes, good morning. When and how often would you recommend having an open house?
Well, I'm a fan, personally, of open houses. But what I always tell sellers is it's up to you whether or not you want to do them. They can be done weekly. They could be done monthly. Sometimes people don't want the traffic through their house on the weekend. Around here, most open houses are done on the weekend. In the villages, Thursdays seem to be the big day that we do them down there. So it's really up to you and up to the agent that's representing you what you think the best game plan is.
Is it the realtor's expense to advertise that?
Yeah. It should be. There's. I've never asked the seller to pay for an open house. I don't know very many people that have.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Okay. Thanks for the call.
Is it advisable that the homeowner be there for the open house, or should it just be the realtor?
My recommendation very strongly is the homeowners should not be home.
Just get out of there.
Oh.
Because two things happen that are bad. One is nobody comes, or just a couple people come, and the owner will not feel good about that, sitting around for 3 hours staring at the agent. And the other thing is, you don't want to it's a time for a look. It's not time for a deep discussion and deep debate about the property. So the homeowner probably is better not getting into that discussion.
Plus, you don't want to say, we can't go in that room. Dad's sleeping right now. Can't go in there.
That's right.
I got the dog in the garage, so you're safe, but we won't be able to go in the garage.
Yeah. Yeah, but and also a big thing about open houses, just to go back to the gentleman's question, is, you're going to have, if you're going to do an open house and you're in a hidden way back on a cul-de-sac in a subdivision, it's hard to get people there. So understand that you're going to, the more of a traffic area you're in, if you're in the front part of a highly developed subdivision that drives a lot of traffic, you're going to get a lot more bang for your buck on an open house.
Gosh.
Any properties you want to showcase today?
I do. I have the house of the week.
The house of the week.
The house of the week.
All right. I like that.
Is going to be, we have a I mean, this house, it looks like HGTV came in.
Oh,
and
really?
Did the renovations. It's in the southeast section. It's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, living room, dining room, family room.
Nice.
Completely redone, all new appliances, granite, walk-in closets, over 2,400 square feet. It really has 2 master suites. And it is just great. It's on over a half an acre of land, and it's under $170,000.
Wow.
Wow, that's a good price too.
It's dollar for dollar. I would say you'd be hard to beat it for anything in town, especially in the southeast section. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
How come they're selling it with such a not real high price tag? It
Well,
seems
we
to
want
me.
to competitive, fair market, but you want to get it sold.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
And they got, you want to get it done. Mm-hmm. And a 4-bedroom. I mean, there's not a lot of real 4-bedrooms.
Is it a 1-story?
Yeah.
Or is it,
Yeah, 1 story. Yep.
Do you have many more than one? Maybe
We
2-story?
we don't have a lot. I mean, because we don't have, we have a lot of land in Marion County, so most floor plans are on 1 floor.
That'll go quick.
Yes.
That sounds like it'll go quick. So
Yeah, come take a look.
yeah.
Give us a call.
Is it in a subdivision with a name on it, or
No,
is it just on the road?
it's called non-sub.
Non-sub.
But it's right over by Crestwood. If most people know where Crestwood is, over by Jervy Gant and the Y. Actually, you could walk to the Y. It's less than half a mile.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's wonderful.
No, we know exactly where that is.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
That's great.
So that was we're going to do that each week. We should do that every week.
Okay.
What did you call it? Showcase?
House of the week.
House of the week.
House of the Week.
House of the week.
Yeah.
I invented that. Like
That's
the old
your
Rocky
phrase.
movie when he was the Italian style. He goes, I invented that.
How long do you give yourself to sell a home when somebody comes to you?
We usually go for the standard, across the board in our market is usually 6 months. Some people go for less, but, we spend a lot of money in advertising and marketing. So we want to be able to make sure that we have the full opportunity to give that to the customer.
Do you know what I like about today's technology? In the old days with real estate, you got one of those books and you could see a little postage stamp size picture of the house, and that's really all you could see without going to the house. Now you can go online and you can see the front, the back. You can have sometimes a video tour inside the house.
Video's where it's at.
Yeah.
Video's the up and coming thing. You have to have it. We're in a information driven business,
Yeah.
information driven age, and it's like, when we sit down and talk to somebody, it's like, hey, our main thing is to get your house exposed to as many buyers as possible, as fast as possible.
Yeah.
And the technology that we employ enables us to do that.
Do you know what I've
That is
done?
amazing.
I've gone to, like just to Google or whatever, to look for the house I grew up in to see if it's for sale. Not
Yeah.
that I want to buy it,
Right.
But I want to see the video tour. So I want to see what it looks like inside now.
Sure.
Because I would be too chicken to knock on the door and say, "Hey, I used to live here. Can I take a tour?" But
If it's on the market,
people
you
do
can
that though. Yeah. Bob, what is your phone number?
622-9700.
And do you want to give your address or your website?
It's BHHSHometeamRealty.com.
Okay. Thank you, Bob.
Enjoyed it as always.
Goes fast. That was a good one about the inspectors.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3